Hi, I'm Jill Slattery with Zimbio.com. I'm here with Amy Acker and Alexis Denisof
Hi, Zimbio.
Much Ado About Nothing, Joss Whedon's new film. So congrats on the movie. I saw it last week and it is fabulous. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much.
Now, I know you guys shot this over, 12 days at Joss's Santa Monica home.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty quick process.
It was crazy quick, yeah.
It was good. Luckily, the set was built, so we had the advantage
That's right.
of getting
That's
to
right.
rehearse on set.
Yeah.
Now, what was the rehearsal process like for it? Was it similarly quick, or did you guys have some time to get into, character and deal with the text? Obviously, the text is...
It was kind of, grab it when you can rehearsal process.
He only told us about 3 weeks before we started shooting that he was thinking about doing it.
Yeah.
So it was all quick. The whole thing was about a month. Really.
Yeah, it was. I think the first call we made was to each other. It was like, how soon can you get together? We gotta figure out what we're doing. So yeah, we would meet up when we could, and Joss would join us. And we'd sort of rehearse it a little bit like the play. We'd figure out where scenes were going to be set, and how we were going to move, and what our attitude was. And then the job was to just try to learn the lines a lot. The day he told me he wanted to do this, and that we'd be doing it in a few weeks, the last thing he said was, you might want to start learning your lines. And,
Yeah.
So yeah, on set you
There
would see
was
people walking
a mild
around.
threat that you needed to be ready for anything
Yeah.
the first day.
Yeah.
Well, Shakespeare's a little more complicated than, say, just a few pages of text in a
Yeah,
TV show.
that's true, yeah. And as drunk as we were, that made it even more challenging.
Yeah.
No, none of that alcohol's real.
Now, I read, too, that you guys had, that Joss likes to have sort of readings, at his home, and that you guys had actually read this and read these parts, Beatrice and Benedict, 10 years ago, something like that?
Is it really?
I don't think it was. Maybe
So
it was.
let's
It was
say
a while
less than
back.
10. But
So
a few years ago, perhaps.
So what was your reaction when you got this phone call, about something that had maybe been talked about but never solidified in a real clear way?
It hadn't really been talked about.
No,
we were
no,
surprised
it's true.
at South by Southwest. Joss said, well, I had always thought if I made a movie it was going to be this one with
Yeah.
these two people. And we were
Little
like,
did we
really?
know, yeah. No, you could have told us. I would have learned it 8 years ago. No, I was amazed. He had just wrapped on Avengers and had called me and he was like, I just got, was it maybe at the airport, or I just got in anyway. He's like, I need to talk to you. And so I said, well, come over, I'm at home. So I put the phone down and I said to my wife, he sounds weird, his voice sounds weird. I think I'm getting cut from the Avengers or something went wrong. I had a little tiny part in the Avengers, so I'd seen him a few months before, and so I thought he was coming to tell me that I'd blown it. But no, instead he pulled that script out of his pocket and said he thought instead of going on vacation, he would shoot this at his house. Did I want to do it? And before I had a chance to realize that was insane, I said yes. And I think kind of same for you, right? Just
Yeah.
I think
I mean, usually if Joss calls, I answer the phone saying yes. And then
yeah.
I probably could have agreed to stuff that I don't even know. But it's better to jump on board
Yeah.
if you
And,
get the opportunity.
As Amy had said, we also didn't have time to worry about it because there just wasn't much time. There wasn't enough time to get ready for it. There wasn't enough time to shoot it, and suddenly it was done. And then you were like, oh, what did we just do?
How's this going to
What
happen?
happened? What was that?
We also, because of the readings, we had this, I think, at least for me, I had this idea of going to Joss's house and having this really open, creative environment that people would read roles that they were totally wrong for, and someone would do. A friend of ours read Gertrude in Hamlet, and she read her with a glass of wine in her hand the whole time, and something about that, I was like, how does everyone not play her that she's drunk? It makes it so great that every time we read the plays, people would just try things, and it was a
Very
fun,
loose
thing.
atmosphere.
So when he said to do this, luckily we had that sort of same freedom
Yeah.
that we felt like we were going to be able to play around, like Alexis doing push-ups and yoga positions and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So it had it didn't have a pressure that that it probably should have if we had known that all these
Yeah, it's
people
true.
were going to see it.
Yeah, think about it.
It
It's
was
true.
more just
Yeah.
like we were getting to do this great thing with our friends.
We treated it as fun, really. Just try to enjoy it as much as possible because it's something we love to do. And expectations were low because no studio was losing money on this. I mean, what was the worst that could happen? Joss and Kai we'd burn down their house. They'd lose a lot of money and all of their friends.
So
And
that
that's
didn't
not
happen.
that bad. No.
Success.
No, but the point I'm making is that it wasn't. There weren't a lot of people, executives involved in the decision making and kind of having input on the creative process. I mean, it really was a very organic process, and it was close to what a play, rehearsing and staging a play is like. The actors and the director get together, and you discuss and interpret and experiment and make a commitment and bring it to life. I think what you're seeing on camera is the results of that.
And I loved you guys got to do some slapstick in it. I mean, there's lots of really fun comedy in what you do.
Yeah.
Which is something that I don't think a lot of weed movies had seen from you guys specifically. I mean, you've done How I Met Your Mother, but was that fun to just play it up and go for it, do the push-ups, fall down the stairs?
Oh, it was fun. Yeah, it was fun.
that
Yeah, it was.
That was for me, I was
Yeah.
most excited about getting to do the
The
comedy.
comedy. Yeah. Having said that, I think he and we find a lot of different tones and feelings in this telling of the story. While there's some outrageous slapstick comedy, there's also some really poignant and touching and tender moments and serious moments. I think Joss is exploring what people's kind of ideas about love and how love actually functions, and so there's a lot going on there. But we had a history of some fun comedy in our work with Joss as far as Angel and in my case with Buffy. So I think we had a kind of a comfort about knowing that we could go any direction with each other. Yeah, we could be very silly and we could also be very serious, and we all know where we are with each other. So that was the good thing about having worked together.
I think, it's a lot of people who don't really know Joss's work, like Buffy and Angel, don't think of it as being comedy, but
There's a lot.
There's a lot of comedy.
there is. I mean, we did
Yeah.
some episodes that we would get just in trouble for laughing.
Yeah. I can remember, being so. I remember having to leave the set one episode because I just could not get it. I was laughing so hard. Spin the Bottle it was. Right? That's the one where I lost it so hard.
Now, if you guys could pick if you were going to have another Whedon, theater camp, 2 weeks, making a movie, what Shakespeare play would you guys like to do?
Well, I think Joss has a killer Hamlet in him. So that would be, I think I would love to see what he would do with that. But would you care? I mean, I would do any of them. Amy would be an amazing Rosalind. She'd be an incredible Helena. I mean, there's a lot of she could do anything. So, and I'll make the tea. No, what I'm trying to say is I'd be happy to do any of them. They're so much fun. And I think this group kind of, it's just this is a kind of a special group, and you can see it. I think it's in the film. So yeah, I hope he finds something else. You never know. I know. I mean, he's the busiest man on the planet. Well, maybe somewhere behind President Obama, but he's up there in terms of like how busy he is. So I don't know when, but I feel like this project just got him in a place. It sort of hit something in him that he really, really